Ja, dat heb ik dus niet opgenomen. Laat even staan.
Oké.
Ja,
Kijk, ik tik hem nu aan. Dan begint hij naar beneden te tellen.
ja.
En dan kun je het zelf drukken. Je kunt drukken wanneer je wil.
Omhoog. Ja.
I do it like this. Just a test that. Well, welcome to the class. You know, some of you might have already done various classes. Some of you might have even been to some theater workshops. Maybe you've studied, you know, method acting, or your knowledge is you know. I'm not. I'm here to it, as of late, it's become very clear that the best, absolutely, the most revolutionary thing since method acting Stanislavski, since the Moscow theater, has of course been in this year. I mean, particular movements within the theater industry, or within the film industry, really. And this, you could say, this is actually an acting technique that is particularly suitable for film, as film is basically already a dominant medium for acting. It is what I'm going to introduce to you today in this female-only class is the Weinstein technique of acting. And you might have seen other other acting techniques. You might have read about it, or you might have done classes, and you might have seen people mention actors, like they mention Tom Cruise when it's about Meisner, they mention Marlon Brando when it's about Adler, they mention Al Pacino. Well, nobody mentions Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I'm sure that he also had a tutor. But what we found out is that all acting talent, all the greatest acting names, have all really got their skills, got to the point where they are in their acting ability and in their greatness through the Weinstein method. And this class is quite revolutionary in that it is the first publicly available class to, the secrets of why are they asking her for that role, and why am I not being, why don't I get a call back? And that has to do with, and I'm not here to pass judgment on this method. This is not about judgment. This method is, as it's similar to Meisner, it's just about activity. It is definitely not about anticipation. You have to come to this with a fairly open mind, but basically we can show you a list of big names in acting, basically Hollywood, because that is where the Weinstein technique basically originated, and that is also where, but there it's basically no large name in acting today, specifically coming to female actors, that has not does not have to thank the Weinstein method and technique and school for her success. And you will see that those who were talented before but have not been able to leverage the very particular exercises, because that is what it's all about. It's about the Weinstein exercises that guarantee you success in acting. And and I resent people who say that this is something that has to do with favoritism, or that this is something that no, this final technique, the final technique for female actors, for female talent, is the Weinstein method. I met a woman once, and she was an incredibly talented actress. I mean, face value, you would say she would surpass many big names, many of the biggest names, the big ones. No, not physically, but in talent. But her flat out refusal to try the Weinstein method. Basically, she lives at in Reno now, in a small apartment flat, and just look her up on Facebook, because there's not much happening, and that is something that I want to warn you for. You do not want to go through that route. You do not want to focus on dignity, and you do want to give it your all. So I'm happy to see a lot of new faces here. I'm happy to see a lot of young faces. There's also a few faces I'm seeing here right now where I think that the Weinstein technique might not be for you. That is actually, could you just put your hands up and tell me how many, does any one of you have children? Yes. Okay, well, we take it on a per person by person basis, because the Weinstein technique is typically not for women that have had especially more than one child, but we'll look at that at a later stage. Some of you have not read my, I don't know, sorry, what's your name?
Sarah? Sarah?
Yeah, it's, I don't know, but I've got a Sarah here, and it says 22. You're obviously not 22. Why did something go wrong? Why did you tell them? How old are you?
22.
No.
What I am? I have my ID with me.
Okay, cut. No, okay. I should have told you. You're 43, and you should just don't talk like a little girl.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. This is the first technique. Okay. Again. I'm sorry. What is your name? I forget about it. It's not that. Well, it's actually for me to look it up on the list. What did you? You're in your 40s. How old are you?
42.
42. You didn't read the. Did you read? Did you? Who did the intake? Peter. Yeah. Okay. Well, this obviously. There's 22 here, so there's no way you're gonna benefit from the Weinstein technique.
Oh.
Not the way you're not you. I mean, I don't want to get personal, but it's a dog eat dog world. So if you could just go now, and we'll refund. You get $100 back on your $1,600 thing. This is really kind of annoying, because not a lot of people. This is really disruptive. I mean, the fact that you've been here. Could you go now? Could you? Yeah, because I look at you, and this is something that we have to do. These exercises. We're working here. Yeah, I'm doing. I'm doing part of the exercises. This is not conducive to the Weinstein technique. This kind of stuff going on. So, yes, yeah. Don't let the doorknob hit you in the ass. Okay, so we got rid of her. I am sorry, darling, but you are. I'm not saying Weinstein is not for you, but I think, this morning you came out of the shower, Yeah, yeah. I don't need to see that. No, and you went to weigh yourself, and either the scale broke, or no, it's just some comedy. All right. Well, it's also about emotional. She's crying. Okay. Another one. Yeah, take her out. So all of you girls, I mean, it's some of you. I'll see immediately that you will have more success with the Weinstein technique, and I mean, I will get to our first exercise, thanks to the great Harvey Weinstein. So basically, this exercise is that you are applying for the role of your life, basically, and if you get it, depends on the way that you can realistically convince me in every exercise with the Weinstein technique. There is Harvey. Um, I will sacrifice myself today. I'll be the Harvey. Um, Harvey is a symbol. He's not something he's your he's the hurdle to overcome, to do what the thing that Harvey asks you is difficult. It's very difficult, but it's possible. Yeah, and we hope that we'll do it without too much alcohol, but yeah, we can so this will be your first audition. Okay, basically the whole thing is cut it out.
Ja, klaar?
Basically the whole thing is